BuildABear entitled mother tries to bully my 5-year-old. Back in 2002, BuildABear had a World Wildlife Fund collection. My tiny for his age 5-year-old had the snow leopard who had accompanied us to BuildABear one day. A woman walked up to him, said, "Ooh, that's rare," and tried to get him to give it to her. He said no. When we saw this, we intervened, and she said she was going to pay him for it. We told her off for trying to take a toy out of a kid's hands. She walked away mumbling about what greedy jerks we are. Our next story was posted by user Homobugian, titled, "Entitled Mother Compliments My ROTC Uniform." This happened recently. I graduated BCT, which is the Army, and am now in AIT for combat medics. We got 3-day passes to spend with family before and after graduation. We had to wear our ASUs when we went off post, and I was wearing the Class A's. They are the really fancy ones with the wool coat that creates pools of sweat if you even look at the sunlight for a few seconds. Personally, I don't mind because they look really good. Most people agree, which brings me to my story. Our cast are Bug, which is me, Mum, best person ever, also a veteran, Dad, buff guy, yet another veteran, entitled mother, seemed polite, killed puppies on the weekends, entitled kid, snotty teen who was in the ROTC program. I am a classy guy, so I decided to take my family out for some fine dining since I had just graduated and wanted to celebrate. I thought long and hard and decided to go to IHOP for an omelette. The line was fairly long because it was lunchtime, so everyone had the same idea as me, I guess. Most of the people were really cool about seeing me, thanking me for my service and everything. I was a little embarrassed. A nice old couple let my small family of 3 cut in front of them so we would be in the air conditioning. The old man said that he remembers how hot the uniforms got and chuckled. My dad, being the hoo-ah veteran that he is, started talking to the guy, and that's when we all heard the woman behind us speak up.
Excuse me, sir, can my son and I jump in front of you too? My son and I are just trying to get a bite to eat, and we need to go soon.
The old guy goes,
"Oh, I'm sorry, but we've also got other things to do. We just let this family cut because I didn't want their young man to die of heat stroke in the sun.
Oh, well, my son's also in the ROTC program at his school, and we know how hot his uniform is, but we really do have to go soon."
"Ma'am, old guy was just doing us a favor, and we don't have long to see our son, so if you don't mind, could you just wait?" It took a few minutes to realize that the woman said ROTC and also in the same sentence. At this point, we were all in the building and still waiting in line. I say to her, "Ma'am, did you say ROTC?"
Yeah, maybe you know my son. He's a captain in the ROTC program at school name.
"No, ma'am, I do not. I am not in the ROTC.
Then why are you wearing the nice uniform? Are you a cosplayer or something?
I was, firstly, taken aback that she knew what cosplay is, and secondly, confused that she didn't put 2 and 2 together, that we were 30 minutes away from a military base.
Isn't cosplaying that hentai thing? No, my son is in a genuine army. Then why doesn't he have any of the ribbons?
That got me a little defensive, I'll admit. Because I haven't done anything to deserve them?
Whatever. You're probably just some weirdos wearing the ASUs to cut in line and get compliments.
At this point, we knew a lot of people were looking at us, and I was pretty embarrassed. I hadn't seen my family in 2 months, and I didn't want my dad to start a scene. So that's exactly what he did. "Are you saying that we're fucking lying, kid?"
Don't use that language around me. My son's right. I don't see any reason to believe your son is in the army. He looks like he's barely even 16.
"'Cause the kid's a stick? I remember when I went through basic, I wasn't much bigger than him. I was skinny thing through most of my military career too."
He was. I remember the first time I saw him, I almost thought he was too young to be in the army.
What a roast. Now, a funny thing about me is even though I just spent 2 months getting screamed at and dropped for every little thing, this was starting to bother me a lot. Not them doubting I was in the army. I had only gotten out of BCT that day. But the scene they were causing. I'm a lot like my dad. He was infantry, so a hot head. Look, kid, and ma'am, I'm not gonna prove me being in the army, but could you please just leave us alone? I didn't mean to upset you, I was just confused about your ROTC comment.
Kid, my son outranks you, jerk.
My mum started to cackle at that. She was quiet throughout this because she isn't the confrontational type. She was JAG, so duh. No offense, mum.
Why are you laughing, you tramp?
Mentally I say this, I don't say it out loud. I go, fucking what? Ooh, I'm about to half right-face this lady. My dad, what I assume he was thinking is, that's my tramp, you're gonna get it now! Oh, I'm sorry, I was just laughing that you think pimples over there outranks bug. A pretty deadly blow from a normally internally polite woman. I could see the kid raise his hands to touch his forehead and felt kinda bad. I remember my pimples. Y'all, let's just go somewhere else. I'm really embarrassed right now and would rather not ruin everyone's day. Entitled Mum goes,
Can we have your spot then? There's still a long wait and you're leaving.
a worker had walked over at this point and asked the woman to step off to the side with him. She did, and there was a lot of hand gestures, and the woman and her kid ended up just going somewhere else, I guess. All in all, not a big deal, but it was embarrassing and kind of put a damper on my mood for a little while. I did end up getting my omelette. It was better than MRE's, to say the least. And our next story was posted by user Blubbery, titled, Karen pushes me out of the line when I'm incapable of walking. So, context. I was born with a badly shaped spine, but I didn't know about it until I was 19 or so. Spent a year with the pain because of my own entitled mother, until at 20, I was able to get a surgery to remove the bad bone. Context 2. University was taken over by a group of students. Political bullcrap, you know, the usual. And each week, there was voting to see if the university is free or still under student control. Context 3. The spine, when it was in its worst state, turned to the left side of my body, completely unusable. Even having the leg, which I assume OP means moving their leg, was as painful as being stabbed with a rusty knife coated in lemon. Oh! Now to the story. Since my career is the smallest in the university of 50 students, and with the lowest amount of votes, 2, its line was mixed with the line of the laws and medicine careers, so it was like 300 plus people at best. I was there, waiting patiently and playing Pokemon on my phone, when my leg starts to become stiff. I deal with it until I can't walk properly. I try to deal with it until I fall over because of the pain. Some people make fun of me and I stand up. The line gets divided in 2, males and females. I'm in my line, now holding the tears because of the pain and looking for a painkiller in my backpack. There is none. Suddenly, the line becomes 1 again, and with my slow speed, I end up at the end of the line. I'm now with dome tears, huge tears apparently, and unable to walk. A friendly girl tells me if I'm okay and if I want to vote immediately. I say yes, and Karen enters the battle. There comes this woman with a 3-year-old goblin screaming as to why I, an evil male student of the devilish and anti-woman career of computer science, gets a fast pass, while she, a poor single mother, does not. Some people ally with her, and I get pushed to the floor. Some fuckboy opens my backpack, I don't know why, and he sees the medical envelope with my radiographs and an analysis. I had a doctor appointment at night. Some medicine students took a look and realized I was with a serious problem and shouldn't even stand up. Heck, I shouldn't walk to take care of the problem. I was left alone and was able to vote, as to be expected. No one said sorry in hell. That Karen still looked at me with murderous intents. And if anyone asks why I didn't have a wheelchair or a cane, they're expensive as frick, and my own mother refused for me to use one, so yeah, it was a crappy year. Edit. To people worried, this happened years ago, and I already got my surgery to repair my spine. I can walk fine now. Thank you for your worries. And our next story was posted by user Envoy2008, titled, Parenting has changed so much. I'm 42 now. I raised my kid and now occasionally care for Grace, my granddaughter. She's not quite school age yet. We live in a small community in Montana. She's just at the age where her parents started socializing her more. A colleague of mine has a son younger than her. She invited her to his birthday party, but I thought it was weird that there is a gift registry. The mother has gone around to different stores and registered him for certain gifts. She told me that he isn't accepting gifts that are not on his registry. I was dumbfounded. Who the hell demands what gifts you can buy for her kid? Aside from kids who have allergies or disabilities. The gifts are in the $100 to $200 range. I told her we'd be out of town, and she said,
"You've been invited, so you have to at least get him a gift."
I laughed and told her my gift was to not tell her what I think of her. Is this considered normal now? I see more and more of this kind of crap. Yeah, I agree with some of these comments. No, this is not normal. Because yeah, it's not normal. What? That's such a greedy way to throw a party. Who actually does this? That's ridiculous. And our next story was posted by user Mja4, titled, "My aunt tried to steal a server." Like Minecraft? So, I'm working on getting a career in IT, so I own a few old servers just so I could tinker and learn how to deploy VMs and other things. I bought the servers from a school and they're sitting on a rack in my room. This will come in handy later. And on that day, I had a family gathering, so I was in and out of the house. Our great cast are EA, entitled Auntie, EH, entitled Hellspawn, and me, the system admin in training.
"Hey, what's that?"
Points to my server rack. Oh, just some old computer servers that I use.
"Cool. Can I have one? You have 3 of them, so you don't need it."
I politely tell him no, and how much they cost to run.
"But I want it!"
Enter, entitled Auntie.
"What's going on here?"
I tell her that the kid wants one of my servers, and that I'm not giving it to a 9-year-old a server. It's not a good idea.
"Surely you can give sweet entitled Hellspawn a server. It's just like a computer anyways, and he needs one."
I again tell her no,
"Fine."
and the entitled Auntie storms out, along with the Hellspawn. I go back downstairs and outside. 20 minutes later, I get a notification on my phone that a server has lost network connection. I walk back to my phone and find entitled Hellspawn trying to drag out a 70-pound server of the rack and down the stairs. Hey, put down my server and get out of my room!
"No, my mum said I could, and you don't tell me what to do."
Entitled Auntie comes up the stairs to see what entitled Hellspawn is yelling.
"What the hell are you yelling at my son for? He did nothing wrong, he only wanted a computer."
I tell her to get the fuck out, and she and her kid will have to pay for anything her and entitled Hellspawn broke, a RAID array on the server, since her kid pulled the drive bays out when it was powered on. Edit, the Hellspawn kid killed a RAID 10 array that was being rebuilt, and the RAID card for the drivers died a week later. Thanks, guys. And our last story for this episode was posted by user Totes So Very Quirky. And yes, it's posted 6 days ago, you might have already heard this one. Titled, "My Entitled Aunt Has Shattered My $2,000 PC." But I'm going to do it very dramatically, so it doesn't matter if you've heard it before. Our characters are EC, entitled cousin, YC, younger cousin, also the cool cousin, EA, entitled auntie, M, mum, PO, police officer, and me, myself. Look how many characters there are, how could you not want to hear this one again? Okay, let's go guys. About 1 year or 2 ago, when I was moving out of my mum's place, my awesome mum threw me a housewarming party. At her house, don't know why. She said I could invite anyone I wanted, and who I didn't want to go, she would deal with. I invited all of my friends and about half of my family. I told my mum I specifically didn't want my aunt to be there. It was a blast. I enjoyed all of my friends' company, and even my family, who I don't like to socialize with at all, since none of my family and I have the same interests. After the party, I had my friends, or the ones that were left anyways, which is about 3 or so, come up to my old room, and we played on my PC. We played R6, CS, Minecraft, Fortnite even. But at this time, it was about 8 p.m. and the party was long over, and all of my friends have left. So my mum invited my entitled aunt over. I despise her and her crutch goblin. They are the most entitled specks of God I have ever seen. My mum calls me downstairs and asked if I could watch my cousins. I have 2 cousins, 1 male and 1 female. I don't mind the younger cousin, who was the male, 11 or 12 at the time, but the older one, 13 at the time, is where the headaches start. The conversation with me and them goes roughly as follows.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. Let me play your computer. Hey, EC, don't be so rude. Shut up, YC, and play the PC with me.
I'm sorry, but at this point, she tries to shove me off my chair. I shut off my PC, and this conversation engages. Hey, cut it off, that's enough! She's quite startled, as I've never raised my voice near them. But today was a long day, and I was not in the mood.
Jeez. You could have just said so. No. He told you not to begin with. Shut up, YC.
She is now full bawling at this point. She runs downstairs, and I assumed to tell her mum. YC stayed up with me, and we joked about it. I could hear the steam coming from the ears of my entitled auntie, and I braced myself for impact. She slammed the door into oblivion and began storming me with insults and legal threats. I will try to keep this as PG as possible, but this is how it went. How fucking dare you speak to my child that way, you bitch! Do you have any idea who we are? Listen, I'm not in the mood. I'm not finished! I'm going to press charges on you for child abuse. I cut her off. No, you're not going to do anything. You're going to get the fuck out of my room, or I'm calling the police. She took this as a challenge. Oh yeah? Go ahead. See how much I give a fuck. Me, pulling out my phone and dialing 911. You got it. Beep, 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 beep. At this point, my mum was at the door, confused as hell. What's going on here? He hit me. I'm livid at this point, as I was abused by my father as a child, Jesus Christ, and it isn't something to accuse someone of, or fake being a victim of. Yeah, your son hit my child and he even admitted to it. I don't believe them, they're lying! Shut the fuck up, YC, no one asked you! At this point, there is yelling everywhere, and in the commotion, I later saw this on my room cam, EC snuck behind all of us and started unplugging my PC. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I noticed her leaving with it and start trying to take it back from her. What? Give me my fucking PC, what do you think you're doing? My aunt noticed me yelling at her and started helping her pull it away from me. Now, as I said before, my door is right in front of the staircase. Entitled auntie and entitled cousin are on the outside of the door, almost off the steps. Then, although you may hear it a lot, my fucking fingers slip and I lose grip on my PC. My aunt and cousin do so as well, and it gets fucking thrown down the steps. It was shattered. If this blows up, I'll upload pics for proof. Also, this all happened in the span of about 4 minutes. Then, as my PC hit the bottom step, I saw the red and blue lights. I got so relieved. My auntie and cousin tried running, but my savage mum yanked both of them by their hair and locked them in the bathroom. Meanwhile, YC was getting the police officers and telling them about the situation. They come inside, looking shocked at my shattered PC, and came upstairs to hear EA and EC banging on the door trying to get out. The convo with me and them goes roughly as follows. Police officer, hey, so what's the problem? Is it them? Pointing at the door. Yep, and that, pointing at the PC. Was it yours? Yep, and now it's shattered. What was the price for it? $2,000. Police officer's eyes widen and says, open the door, let me deal with them. He cuffs them on the spot and asked if I wanted to press charges. I gave a solid yes. I also found out the next day that they had broken both of my monitors. They swore to hell and back as they were being driven away. The next month, EA was imprisoned for destruction of property, child neglect, as we have found out she had left her 2-year-old baby at her house when they came to visit. drug use, and drug possession as they found a needle and a mysterious white powder in her bedroom. Final sentence: 15 years, and I was going to get my entire computer and monitors refunded. I enjoyed seeing the gavel drop and her face get ghost white. EC got off scot-free, but neither of them are allowed back to our house or any of our relatives' houses. Edit: YC has been staying with me for the past year and a half, and EA's 2-year-old is now 4 in the comfort of my mother. They are both doing fine. What was that story? What was that? That was crazy. Anyway guys, as always, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, links for my Instagram, Patreon, Discord, and Twitter are in the description below. If there's anything you guys would like to see, be sure to hit me up in the comments below, or any of the social media platforms. Chuck me a message, come on, don't be shy. As always, have a great day. Bye.